Good morning everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's Belinda here from Visualized NZ. I'm going to work today on the virtual tag swap. It's a swap that I run over in my Facebook group called Visual Vibes, and it's a virtual swap. So essentially we're swapping prompts. People get paired up in partners and they swap a prompt each, and then there's an overall prompt that I provide, and which is optional. So you can either include both prompts from your partner and the one I give, or just the one from your partner. And then there's no physical mail out. You just make a tag with those prompts and then post a photo of it in the Facebook group. And I've made it virtual so that there's no worries about postage costs or postage timeframes, so that anybody can participate. It doesn't require a lot of investment in terms of the cost of postage. So if that's something that sounds like you'd like to be a part of it, do hop into Visual Vibes, and the link is in the description box, and check us out there and feel free to participate. So the current sign up is open for the August swap. So if you head along there pretty soon, it closes off at midnight New Zealand time on Sunday. So you've got, what's today? So you'll see this Friday. So you've got a couple of days to sign up still, if you're interested. So for the July swap, virtual tag swap, the prompt is coffee. That's the one I provided everybody. And my partner, the lovely Lydia, provided me the prompt of country. So that's what I've got to work with, and we're going to make a tag. So before I get to these pieces that are on my desk, I do actually have a coffee themed paper pad. It's from Craft Smart. I bought it off somebody who is destashing, so I don't even know if it's still available or where you might purchase it, but that's what I'm working with. And I'm thinking of just using this. Firstly, why am I being so secretive? Like, open it up so we can all look. Finding a background for the tag, and then these images, or I'm not sure if I'm going to use this piece. It's a belly band or a tuck or a side pocket, depending how one wants to use it. And there's this pocket here, and these are pieces from the summer. Now, is it Summer Bounty or Summer's Bounty? I can't remember. From the Junk Journal Studio. So they're out of one of those kits. There's about 4 or 5 different kits in that, in the Summer Bounty or Summer's. Oh my gosh, I cannot remember if it's Summer or Summer's. Anyway, you'll know what I'm talking about, whether I use the S or not. Summer Bounty kit, there's I think maybe 5 in the series on Summer's Bounty. So that's, I thought I'd use that, because isn't that country? Like this lady, and she looks like, oh, I've got to rake that paddock, like, huh. And in my mind, that went, she needs coffee. So that's, I'm going to pair that with coffee, and I think it's going to work. But I'm looking at, there's quite a bit of green in this page, so that's a possibility as a background. It's quite busy though. I'm thinking, is it too busy? I've got a blue one here with a gold foiling dots. I've got pink. Now there is pink in this. It's coffee beans. That could work. Certainly is not too busy. Macarons, no, we're not doing macarons. Got just a plain olivey green, but no, it doesn't say coffee to me. Then there's some cut apart like journal cards and bits and pieces. There's this beautiful marbled sort of coffee, milky coffee. Not in love with that for this. Not thinking the blue. This beautiful coffee bean one, that could work as well. Okay, I'm going to go this one. I think it's speaking to me. So let's go with it. And then there's one other page I want to pull out of here. And I do have one I've already pulled from this pack and cut into, but sadly I don't know where it is. So we're going to have to pull the one that's from, there's only 2 sheets of each design in here. Now I'm trying to find it. This one. It's got lots of different bits to cut up, like borders and little circles and some words and things, and it's the words I think I want off of this one. Come out of there. Oh, didn't want to give it up. So I wish I could find the bit that I've already cut into. But never mind, we shall carry on. So first off, tag. I'm not going to use this whole thing. I'm going to trim it down, and I don't want this tomato. So I'm going to cut it about there for a start. I think I need to do that first so I can determine how big my tag is going to be. So how are you all today? I hope you're having a wonderful day. Friday, end of the week, weekend's coming up. Love a weekend, as you probably know, because I think I say that just about every week. But it's true, I do love a Friday. And that's going to cut off slightly too much, so let's pop that. Make sure it's straight, and let's trim off that part. And I'm going to save this bit because I think that's still usable in some form, whether I fussy cut the sweet peas or the tomato or, you know, the strip down the side. That's still usable for something. It'll go in my scraps. Cool scraps. Now, how much of this do I want? I definitely don't need the green bits, which are the flaps for the pocket. So let's start by cutting those off and then seeing whether we like how much we've got left. Again, a really cool scrap with that green check on it. And of course we don't want this thumb notch out of the top. But I'm thinking I want some of that music still at the top. So let's retain a little bit of that. For now, we can always trim it down if we decide not. And this bit I am going to throw away. I could keep it. I know where I would put it, but I'm just in a space where I can't deal with extraneous little bits and pieces. Yeah, I need to minimize that just until I'm back kind of operating normal. Okay. I have a feeling this is going to end up quite a simple little journal card, tag, sorry, not a journal card, a tag. And that's okay. It doesn't need to be overly complex. Right, I'm going to make it about there. Now I can't see the top of my paper to line it up, so we're just going to have to hope and pray that it's straight. So I'm not going to go all the way though. I'm just going to go about there. I can always finesse it a little bit if it's not straight. Not the end of the world. I just don't want to waste the paper either. So this is probably a little tall for what I want, but it's okay. Again, we can trim it down. Oops. Okay, so we're finished with that bit. That's a nice big tag shape. She makes me smile. She doesn't look very happy, but she makes me smile. Right, from here, I think I'm going to do a tag top. That's what I'm going to do. Cut it into the tag shape. I feel like I'm cheating by using a coffee patterned background, but it's not cheating, it's just using what I've got. It's quite cute. Do need to ink this. I'm not going to commit yet to that going down because I don't know yet how I'm going to compose the rest of the elements. So, but I am going to ink this. Good old vintage photo, which is kind of a bit coffee-ish, isn't it? Leaning towards coffee, or giving the appearance of coffee. And of course going to ink up this. I might as well do that at the same time. I could back this with some coffee dyed paper, but I actually think it's sturdy enough. You know, it's not super light paper. It's got a bit of body to it. So I think once it's got the collage on the front, I think it will be good as gold. You know, it's not what I would call flimsy. If it was flimsy, I'd back it, but I would not call this flimsy. I think it's got enough oomph on its own to do the job. Right. So something like that. Do we want to use this little piece somewhere? To me, the gingham says country. And I'm thinking maybe I just want the gingham out of the middle, so let's just trim that off and end up with some more cool scraps. This is the first time using this kit. I've had this kit for, we might even be coming up to a year since I bought this kit. I'm not quite sure when I bought it, but I've had it for quite a long time. And all I've done is cut it out. And there's a lot of cutting to do, a lot of fussy cutting. And I've discovered I haven't actually finished it. I thought I had, but I haven't. There's still some stuff to cut out. So one day I want to do a project or several, because there's more than enough for, you know, to do. I think when Gail did the kit, she did 5 journals out of it and still had leftover stuff. So like there's a lot of stuff. I like that. Okay. Happy with that. Feeling like some book page, you know, or a scrap of this little, like, random scrappy piece. I think that's going to work actually. And I think just take a little bit off this bottom bit here. Oops. It's the trouble when you're laying out things and they're loose, they're not glued down. Things keep moving and that can be frustrating. Okay, so I don't like this bit sticking up here. So take that off. And do we like that side or do we like the other side? I think I like it that way round because we've got the strip here and this bit comes up here, so it kind of balances the composition a little bit for me. So just bringing in more of that country element with that green gingham. And I'll ink around that as well. Okay, words. So we've got words across here, which are gold on brown background. We've got these brown words on a brown textured background. And then we've got these circles So this is drink coffee and do good, hug in a mug, but first coffee, and then there's that repeats. Or there's this marbly coffee background with types of coffee on it. I'm really liking the idea of but first coffee, because that's what her expression is saying to me. Before she does this, whatever she needs to do on the farm, she needs coffee first. So I'm definitely thinking that, and from memory, my big circle punch here fits around these. Yes, it does. So I'm going to punch out the but first coffee. Oops, trying to line it up so that I get the little dashes around the outside. Let's go that, and we'll see. Slightly off, I think, but not too bad. We're going to ink anyway. So do we want to pop that there? We could pop it as a topper. I kind of like that, actually. Now I was thinking, do I have like a coffee cup or something that could go down here? These ones, they're just a bit little, aren't they? Wonder about the paper pad. Let's... Oh, you're right, Puss. You got a fur ball. He's on the couch and he's just started coughing, which to me sounds like a fur ball. They are starting to molt, even though it's winter. It's just crazy to me. It's like, what are you doing molting, kids? Should have a nice thick winter coat on that's not budging. I don't want a coffee cup with writing on. That one's a bit big, I think, and not quite the right shape. Oh, you okay, Puss? Just don't throw up, please. Or at least not on the couch. Or the carpet. Or inside. Oh, poor baby. It's such a hard sound. Sounds really uncomfortable. There's some coffee cups here. Again, I feel like they're a little bit small. This one looks to me more like tea. I know you get coffee bags, but to me that says tea, so not that one. I'm sure there must be some larger cups in here. This is a really cool border. I need to get rid of some of these bits for a moment, because they're annoying me, because they're loose. There's these, the bit, not quite the right look, I don't think, for this. Not the right style. Oh, here we go. This might be more likely. What do we like? Hey, Georgie. There's a green cup. Maybe this one in the brown. It's either the same as the other one or very similar, but it just looks better to me. It's better size, I think. I am going to chop into it and see. I haven't used either of these pages, so... Oh, a bit awkward. So how do we feel about that one? Yes, I think that's the one. Okay. Right, let's start putting this together, because I think I've got the idea of where I'm heading. Okay, so I'm going to ink up. Actually, I should cut it first so that I can ink the... Actually, no, I'm just going to ink it and then I'll cut it and then I'll re-ink where I've cut off. I think it's going to be the quickest in the long run, rather than fiddling around trying to line it up properly. yeah, so really enjoying the virtual tag swap. There's some amazing tags coming out of it, and I would love more people to participate. It's relatively new. I'm not sure what one we're up to, whether we're up to our 4th or 5th. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. I think people are really enjoying it. I hope they are anyway. So yeah, do pop along and see if it's something you'd like to participate in. Love to have you on board. But yeah, sign-ups end on Sunday at midnight New Zealand time, which I think is like, oh, I don't know, maybe your Sunday morning in America. I'm not actually sure. You'd have to do a time conversion and just double check. Whoops, I've got ink on the back there from all the little crumbs. That's all right. I can just add some more ink to the back. I didn't quite get that all glued all the way to the top, so I'll have to fix that up. So throw out the wee triangle, and I am going to keep that little bit of gingham because I love gingham. Gingham is cool, and it very much takes me back to my school days. Primary school, I had an apron and oven gloves and a little food cover and things that my great aunt had made me for what we called manual, where one day a fortnight we'd go by bus to another school and do cooking lessons and sewing lessons and things like that. So I had red gingham at primary school for manual, and then at high school our summer shirts were green gingham. So it's very nostalgic for me, gingham. I think that's why I love it. And I also had a yellow gingham dress and a pink gingham dress that my great aunt made me for dancing lessons and at primary school as well. So yes, very nostalgic. Now, do I want to ink around that? I think I might. Sorry, hopefully I'm on screen. Yes, very nostalgic. Do you have an association with gingham? Does it mean something special to you, or invoke certain thoughts or feelings or impressions? Like, does it speak to you of country, or does it speak to you of something else? Oops, sorry if you heard that. I forgot to put my phone on do not disturb. So, oh well, never mind. As long as it doesn't ring, it's all good. Right, about there, I think. I'm just gonna wing it, and it'll be fine. Yes, so that's something I like, is gingham. And just trim off that little overhang. Right, then our miss there, our farmer miss. Just gonna, oh, if I can, it's getting hard to rip these off. I need to take care of all this stuff on that side. There's always so much to do, particularly when I'm not spending as much time at my desk as I would like. Things just keep piling up and not get dealt with because it's just hard for me. It gets sore to do too much time here, so things are not how I would want them to be in terms of my desk situation. Alright, let's pop that there. It's probably a little higher than what I would have liked, but I want the paper to show underneath, so that's where it's going. Okay, I think I want to do a loose cut around this, so leaving a border, because the cup and the saucer are detached, they're not together, so I think it would look funny if I tried to do a proper fussy cut, because I need them to be together. And I just threw that in the bin. I'm getting very, very rash with my offcuts there. There's nothing to say that it won't end up being fished out of my little trash container before I empty the trash container. You know, it's always a possibility. I have done it before where I've thrown something away and then I've fetched it back out going, no, I can't throw that out. Oh yes, the life of a crafter. Okay, now this is what doesn't make sense. I was so careful to keep this little bit of paper intact, and I'm going to end up covering it up. Yep. Or not. Maybe I won't. Maybe I won't end up covering it up. I don't know. Okay, I like that. But I'm thinking it needs steam out of the cup. You know, you have the little curly lines that indicate that it's hot. Steam off the coffee. I'm feeling like I need that. So what would I like to use to do that? Do I want to draw it in? What have I got that I could do? Could use coffee dyed paper. Let's have a wee look. See what we can, oops, throwing things around here. Just gonna cut a bit of this, make it easier to deal with. And let's do I need to cut this, it's going to annoy me. Very fiddly. Just cutting little swirly slivers. Very subtle, but I don't mind. I don't mind the subtle. Right. Try and remember to do it on camera. Would be helpful, wouldn't it? Helpful for you guys. And then I need a shorter one. So let's cut this down, and that will ensure that we make it shorter. And it's coffee dyed, but I'm actually thinking of inking it, so it wouldn't have mattered whether it was coffee dyed or not. That one can sit in the middle. I feel like they do need to stand out a bit, so I am going to darken them up a bit. Tiny fiddly little bits. Probably thinking I'm quite nuts. That's okay. I don't mind being nuts. Anything for the love of crafting. Isn't that right? Right, so we've done that. So let's glue this bit down. I think I will use tacky glue for this, given it's a reasonably thick bit of scrapbooking paper. It's going over top of the turnips there. Okay, now glue on our little steamy swirls. And when I set the prompt of coffee, I just pulled it out of my brain. I had no idea, no preconceptions of how I would work with the prompt. And so when I came to do it, it's like, what am I going to do? I don't know what I'm going to do. But then I remembered I had this scrapbook paper pad, and it was like, well, that's a good place to start, isn't it? Trying to get these little bits glued on the right side. It's a bit challenging. That one, and our last little bit. Here we go. Hope you can see that. I mean, they are a little bit lost in the tops on the turnips, but I think, you know, when you're looking at it in real life, they're definitely visible. So I hope you can see in camera. Okay, happy with that. I think that's cool. Get rid of these tiny little scraps because we don't need those now. Get those out my way, get that out my way. And now we've got our little words here. But first, coffee, which I think will make a really cool tag topper. Like so. So definitely need to ink it up. And I'm just going to do that off the camera so I don't continually get more sponge crumbs on it and create little... Oh, that's given me an idea. Maybe I should deliberately create some splotches with a stamp. Some like coffee stain splotches. That would be fun. But first, that makes me happy. I'm so pleased with how it's coming together. Here's the thing. Do I want to add the other one of this on the back? Do I want to do that? Or save it for another? Or I could put one of the other ones on, so a different one. Let's put a different one on. And so I don't have to bother cutting into it to get to the other circles, I'm just going to do this one on this end, which says think coffee and do good. So let's just go with this one. And then there's something of interest on the back as well. Pink is actually very much harder to see, the little outlines, so let's... It's going to be inked anyway, don't worry so much about it, it's okay. I'm talking to myself, trying to not be so persnickety about it. Right, so ink this one up as well, again just off camera. I'm wondering whether I should end up covering that because of those inky splotches I've got there. That's not big enough, is it? Is that big enough? It is, you know. It's almost perfect. So, because it's perfect, we're going to do it. So, we're going to... I don't know if you can see that. I've got ink stain on the glue stick from the vintage photo. Obviously ran it over something that was inked. Oh yes, it would be the this. You know, I was gluing those little bits. That's what it would have come off of. I'm going to glue, tacky glue around the edges. The wind's picking up a bit out there, I can hear. There's heavy wind warnings in place for this evening through to tomorrow, I think. Not for us, but for Banks Peninsula, which is a couple of hours away from here. But we do get, it means it will be windy here as well, but just not as bad as what it's going to be on Banks Peninsula. So, hope you're okay up there, Lydia, with the forecast of what's to come. I'm sure you'll be fine. Like, it's nothing new, really. It's just one of those fun adventures in life of what the weather does. It's been very volatile lately, but what can you say? It's winter, you know. It's actually been a long time coming this year. Right, So let's trim off that, and then we haven't got those inky splodges that, I mean, they were okay. They weren't super bad, but I wasn't happy with them either. So now I don't need to be happy or sad about them because we've covered them over and they no longer exist. So now I'm super worried now about continually getting crumbs, so I'm going to ink off camera. So excuse me for a moment while I do it. And then we shall put on our circle toppers onto the tag. So I don't know if I said, but the prompt of country was given to me by Lydia, and she's February and June on YouTube and on Instagram and Facebook, and she's also a very good friend of mine as well. So if you'd like to go and give her a shout out on her channel, that would be awesome. She's also the one who did some videos for me when I was in hospital with my surgery, and straight after I got out of hospital she did videos for me. So she's a super lovely, very kind person. So yes, I was a bit stumped at first with country. It's like, well, there's actually lots of options for country, but I don't know what I'm going to do. But I'm really happy with what I've come up with. I think it works well. So making sure that I get the writing up the right way, because that certainly helps. Right, now the tricky part, lining up this one with the other one. It's the beauty of using a punch as it is a regular circle, not like it's hand cut, so there'll be variances if it was hand cut. Using the punch means they'll be exactly the same. So it's just awesome that they fit inside that punch. Right, there we go. And I just feel like that one needs darkening up. I can't do the bottom of it now because I've attached it, but get that top bit and just darken that up a bit more. Felt like the other side was darker, which is fair enough because this is dark brown and this is light pink. So yeah. So there's my tag for the virtual tag swap that's happening in Visual Vibes. This is for July. This you can't participate in this one anymore, but you can sign up for the August swap. So the way it works is sign-ups are open now. They close at midnight on Sunday, New Zealand time, and then on Monday, New Zealand time, maybe Tuesday, not sure, one of those days, I'll announce the overarching prompt from me and the partner list. So do pop along there, check it out. Love to have you on board. It'd be awesome. So thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this wee video. Take care, everybody. Have a fantastic weekend, and I'll catch you on Monday. Bye for now.